G'day everybody, Dr. Ken here again. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks again. Don't forget to click subscribe at the end of all this. Today I want to talk about perspective. I want to talk about something that a lot of people take for granted and don't look deep enough into. This is analogy. It's a bit of a longer blog this time around. I'm going to try and break it down. It might be in two parts, but this is what I'm going to be calling the tissue box analogy. Okay. And as you can see in front of me, here's one I prepared earlier. This is a tissue box, yes, but it's representative of problems that often we carry around for most of our lives, if not all of it. It could be a big problem that's been brewing in the past. This tissue box represents everything that we've accumulated over the years and that we find challenging on every level. So first off, let's get a bit of homework out of the way. Yes, those of you who have noticed, I'm sporting a Mo because it is Movember, and I grow my Mo to support Men's Mental Health Month. As you know, that's something I'm quite passionate about. Secondly, it's November and already Christmas decorations are up. They're all around the place. There's a Christmas tree, there's bells, there's baubles, there's Santa Claus, and we've even got a dwarf up there. That's interesting. So hopefully this time of year is good for all of us. And maybe the outcome of this video, this little blog, you might have a different perspective of a situation you're in, or your life in general. This is transferable to many different aspects and perspectives, and hopefully your Christmas can be a little more merry if you start looking at a few things differently now. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into Dr. Ken's tissue box analogy. First off, let's pause for a moment, because what I want you to do is go and get a piece of paper and a pencil, because you're going to be doing some drawing. I'll give you a moment to go and do that. Okay, welcome back. So you've got your piece of paper and your pencil now. Great. So I want you to accurately draw the box. Right? Draw the box in 3 minutes. Set your phone or your watch to a timer. Give yourself 3 minutes and draw this as best as you possibly can. I'll even put an image up on the screen for you if you want another one. If you've got your own tissue box, pause this. I'll give you a moment, but pause this and go and get your own tissue box if you like, or you can use the one that'll be on the screen in just a minute, okay? Or you can pause the video and do this one. But draw this, you got 3 minutes. Go. All right, how'd you go? We got any Michelangelos or Picassos out there, or more like Ken Doan? Who's the best artist, eh? What's really relevant here is that you've become familiar with analysing and examining your box. And some boxes are very intricate. Like some tissue boxes have got intricate patterns on them. Some of them have got words. Some of them have got pictures. They're all different. Okay? Everybody has a different tissue box. But the important thing is that you recognise it. Now, if I was sitting at a table with all of you at the same table, it'd be hopefully a big table. Maybe it'll grow. But what I like to do when I'm giving this presentation to executives and CEOs of companies and other people of that caliber, I say to them, rightio, now that you've got, imagine that is a situation or your life and you are so familiar with it, you would recognize that drawing if you were traveling overseas on a freeway, say in America, and you saw that on a big billboard. You go, hey, that's my tissue box. I know that box. I'm familiar with that tissue box. I've known it most of my life. you could be looking it up in a magazine, or you're flipping through pages in a magazine and like, oh, there it is. And you'd know that because it's yours. You're so familiar with it. You know it intimately. That's exactly the same as the life and the issues that you might be having a bit of a difficulty with. But believe it or not, you're not that familiar with it at all. You know very little of it. Very little. Yep. So getting back to that the point where I was talking about being at a table where there's lots of people around it, and they've all drawn the box, and then what I do is I get them to move around the table, say to their left or their right, 2, maybe 3 seats, depends on how many people are sitting at the table. And then they get up, they move, and they sit down, and I say, now look at the piece of paper in front of you you've drawn. Is that a picture of the tissue box? I go, yeah, this is, okay. Is it the picture of your tissue box? I go, yeah, well, the tissue box, right. Is it the same as the one you drew? They say, well, the tissue box is the same, but I say, but what about the picture that you drew? The one that you are intimately familiar with? Is it the same? They go, no, it's different. Oh, okay, it's different, right? Just hold that thought. Then what I do is I ask them to get the piece of paper that they have sitting or on the table in front of them and pass it to somebody on the opposite side of the table. So they literally pick the paper up and go and hand it over to somebody else. And then that other person, I go around the table and say, rightio, so is this also a drawing of the picture of the tissue box? And I'll go, yes, it is. Okay. Is it the drawing that you're familiar with? Intimately familiar with? And I go, no. Oh. What, it's wrong? And I go, no, it's not wrong, it's just different. Oh. Very powerful point to be making there. Right? And some of you might already be clicking onto what it is, especially if you've been following some of my blogs already. Right? But this is but even that, you still have only a small idea of what this is really all about. Right? So then let's take it to the next stage. I want to ask you, how many sides does a tissue box have? Now, it's a trick question, so think very carefully. How many sides does a tissue box have? Do you want to count them? No? Who said 6? Interesting. Well, let's pick up the box. Let's literally pick the box up and count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I'm still wrong. Don't forget, this is your life, or a major situation, or a problem you've had in your life. How can there be the different number to 6? Why is 6 not the right number? It is correct if you're in a math class. Oh yeah, sure, 6 sides to the box. But even that's kind of wrong. Even that's wrong. Why would that be wrong? Why would that be wrong? 6. Why is there more than or less than 6 sides? I know. Why? Yeah. Give you a moment to think about it. Okay. Had a thought? Who says there are more than 6 sides to a tissue box? All right. Who says that there are less? All right. Well, how about I'm going to ask you, when you say there are 6 sides to a tissue box, well, I'm going to ask you a pretty straightforward question. How many of you only ever seen? You tell me there are 6 sides to a tissue box, but that drawing that you did, that intimate knowledge that you have of your life and your situation, you've never presented more than 1, 2, 3 sides of the box, even though you've just told me that there are 6 sides. How do you know that there are 6 sides when you've only ever seen 1, 2, 3? Eh? How? You're taking it for granted? Yeah? You're trusting other people? All right. But even then, that's not accurate. See, this is a side, no matter who is at the table with you, no matter who you have around you that see your life from their perspective, and there's the key word, perspective. That's what this session today is all about. The tissue box analogy is all about perspective and getting a different perspective of your life from different points of view. Ones that you can't have, because the only ones you ever see are these. This is a face that only you see. A person sitting over there might see it slightly different. They'll see more of this side of you than that side. The person sitting over that one will see more of that side than this side. But everybody sees your social side. The social face of your tissue box, everybody sees that. But there's one side that nobody sees. Not even you. You know it's there, because if it wasn't, it wouldn't be on top of the table here. It wouldn't have structure. That side exists. We know it does. We take it for granted. Maybe that's our spirit. Maybe that's our soul. I don't know. Maybe it's our DNA. Huh? Yeah, family memory of intergenerational stuff. But that side exists. We know it, but we don't look at it. All right? But even that still counts up to only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Okay? Again, who thinks that there are more or less? Well, now we come to the crux point. There are more than 6 sides to this box and your life. In fact, there are 14. That's right. This box has 14 sides to it. This tissue box has 14 sides, just like you do, just like each and every one of us. We've got at least 14 sides. Quite profound to think about, because what we're taught is it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've just, some of you hopefully have been illuminated. There's this one here that we don't have, and that's our foundation. That's our structure. That's what our life sits upon. It could be tradition. It could be DNA. It could be family history. Our values, our belief system, religion. It could be anything that forms the basis for our entire family history, and that is what our life sits upon. But there are more than 6, because with every three-dimensional object, there are ones in there. There's another 6 sides when you look from the inside. You've got that side up there. You've got that side there, and that side there. That forms the inside. So there's another 6 plus 1 more. Inside is collectively all the sides that happen in there. So that leaves 1 more side. You've got the 6 on the outside. Aha! Those of you who are quick. You've got 6 on the outside, plus the 1, which is collectively the outside. That gives you 7. Then you've got another 6 on the inside, plus the collectively inside. So that's 7 plus 7. There are 14 sides to a tissue box. There are 14 sides to a person's situation. There are multiple sides that we don't take into consideration when we're struggling or we're trying to work through a problem that has plagued us for a long time. It means it's a lot more complex than what we think. There is a web of relationships interconnecting each and every aspect, every particle, every wave, every thought, every action that we do, every attitude that we persist. Sometimes they're harmful ones. Sometimes they're negative affirmations. We keep saying to ourselves, I'm never going to save up for that holiday. I'm never going to make my life any better. We can change that when we look at the tissue box and say, hang on, all I've ever based my opinions on is the ones that I've seen. Why is it that even though I know that there are 6 sides to the box, the way I judge myself in the world around me is only based on 3? That's not even half. There are 14 sides to this box. But why do I base my perspective of me in the world around me on only 1, 2, 3 sides? I ignore that one. And yet this one is what everybody sees, even me. Right? This is the one that I focus mostly on. my social side. More important to me that I have a powerful, very visible social side than these. Why? Let's start picking the box up. Let's look at this tissue box from all the different angles. Take time to ask people from different perspectives. This one, that'll be a hard one to get to. But it's not impossible. It can be done. Okay? 14 sides to a tissue box. Who knew? Huh? Who knew? Wow. It just goes to show that we are very complex. And our emotions and our thoughts and our attitudes, which form our behaviours, can be grounded very deep in history. The reasons we do things the way we do them. Have a closer look at your tissue box. Have a closer look at the situation. Ask people who can see it from different points of view. Right? Ask people to show you how they see your tissue box. And then ask family about this one, about this side. And hopefully, Christmas this year can be a lot more joyful because you'll start to have implemented some new thought strategies. Thought strategies evolve into behaviours. Okay? And they feed thought strategies again, part of that reward feedback loop system. We'll get into it in another session. So thank you for bearing with me. I know it's been a long blog, but Dr. Ken's tissue box analogy, I hopefully will help you to illuminate better aspects of your life. Always be on the improve so that you can be a good place. Not just in a good place. That's a previous blog. Look at one up too. Okay. This is Dr. Ken out. I think I need one of these now. See ya.